I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world?
Imagine a quiet night in Seoul. No promotions scheduled, no concerts. Then suddenly, the name Kim Taehyung, aka V from BTS, suddenly tops the trends across social platforms. Not because of a new song, not because of a photo shoot or a comeback, but because of his reckless action that was done without permission from HYBE, the agency that has been controlling his every step of his career. Viewers on social media could only gape. Comments flooded the timeline. Seriously? He dares to do this without HYBE's approval? Crazy. This has never happened before. Is Taehyung rebelling? What exactly happened? What did Taehyung do that shocked fans, and even his own agency, HYBE, didn't know about this plan? Let's reveal everything. Sudden action. Without a script, a surprise for the world. A few days ago, fans were shocked by an impromptu live performance from Taehyung at a small cafe in the Hongdae district. No promotions, no posters, no professional cameras. Taehyung appeared on a small stage with an acoustic guitar and an old mic. No HYBE managers, no production staff, no security crew. He simply greeted the small audience that happened to be there and started singing. The song he sang? His own composition, unreleased, unannounced. And what was even more surprising, no one from HYBE's management knew about the plan. One of the audience members who recorded the moment said, "We thought it was just a lookalike of Taehyung, but once he started singing, everyone realized it was really him. No makeup, no studio lighting, just the real him. A stunt or a message?" A few hours after the video went viral, HYBE gave a curt response. "We were not aware of this activity. We are discussing it internally." A cold but meaningful response. In the hyper-controlled world of K-pop, where every second of an idol's time is meticulously scheduled, what Taehyung did was radical. He stepped out of his comfort zone, from the system that had raised him but also confined him to a tightly structured routine. And the public knew this wasn't just an impromptu performance. It was a silent statement, a message that Taehyung was searching for an identity outside of systemic constraints. Why without permission? Many fans asked, why did he do this without telling his agency? Taehyung has always been known as a docile figure who rarely creates open conflict. But lately, he has shown a more exploratory, more artistic, and more wild side. According to one source close to his creative team, Taehyung felt trapped in the safe scheme designed by HYBE. He wanted to pursue music that was more personal, more raw, and more honest, without having to go through layers of approval, meetings, or corporate censorship. He was tired of waiting for permission to be himself, the source said. Impact on the industry. Will other idols follow? Taehyung's move sparked a massive discussion. In a K-pop world accustomed to perfect choreography and sterile schedules, this move was considered revolutionary. Many fans and even trainees from other agencies have voiced their support, calling Taehyung's actions a little rebellion that the industry needs. Some junior idols have begun to hint at a desire to do the same, making music independently, performing without the approval of a company, and expressing their art without bureaucratic constraints. Taehyung, the free artist. After the incident, Taehyung posted a story on Instagram, a picture of his hand holding a guitar, with the caption, "This isn't about rebelling. This is about being free." This short sentence confirms that what he did was not just a reckless act, but a conscious step to break free from the constraints of the system and become an artist in the purest sense. He doesn't just want to be known as a K-pop star. He wants to be remembered as an artist who lives, feels, and creates honestly. Is this the beginning of change? HYBE may not have decided their stance yet. But what is clear is that Taehyung's actions have shaken the foundations of the agency model that has governed every aspect of an idol's life. The public wonders, will HYBE punish Taehyung gently? Or will it give him room for greater exploration? Will other idols get the same courage? And is this a sign that the new generation of K-pop no longer wants to be controlled? Taehyung's move could be a turning point, not only for himself, but also for the entire Korean entertainment industry that has so far emphasized visual perfection and system discipline. When a superstar like Taehyung chooses to break the mold for the sake of artistic honesty, it is not a form of rebellion, but a silent call for freedom of expression. He is showing that being an artist does not mean always having to submit to business formulas, but also having the space to make your own decisions, even if it means taking big risks. Now, the eyes of the world are on him. Fans are waiting for his next move. Will HYBE adapt to this new spirit, or will they try to pull back the reins that are starting to slip away? One thing is for sure, Taehyung has opened a door that was previously tightly closed. And perhaps after this, more idols will begin to realize that comfort zones are not where true art can grow. The reaction from fans was unstoppable. They flooded social media with support, creating thousands of fan art, songs, and even poems in appreciation of Taehyung's courage. Many have called this action the most honest moment in BTS history, because it shows the human side of an idol who has so far only been seen as a symbol of perfection. Behind the handsome face, precise choreography, and magnificent stage, there is a soul that screams to create without chains. This action is a breath of fresh air for those who have long felt that K-pop is too constrained by a corporate mindset. On the other hand, industry critics have also begun to speak up. Some say that what Taehyung did could be a threat to the long-standing system. An industry built on long contracts, tight supervision, and total control over artists could be shaken if more artists start demanding freedom like this. However, others welcome it positively, saying that this is the time for K-pop to develop in a healthier and more humane direction. That creativity cannot and should not always be governed by numbers and algorithms. Interestingly, Taehyung's actions have also inspired debate among other agencies. Several labels have begun to consider giving their artists more room to explore, especially the new generation who are more vocal and have a strong artistic understanding. Not a few young idols also uploaded codes on social media, as if implying that they also wanted to get out of the cage. What started as a simple acoustic performance has now slowly turned into a small spark that ignites the spirit of change. Meanwhile, international media also highlighted this phenomenon. Articles from Billboard, NME, to The Guardian began discussing how Taehyung's small action has opened up a new discourse on agency control, idol mental health, and freedom of creativity in a highly disciplined industry. This is not just a rebellion from a pop star, but also a reflection of the times. Today's generation of artists don't just want to perform, they want to speak, determine, and be heard. Taehyung himself remained calm amidst this turmoil. He did not make long statements or defenses. In fact, his calmness strengthened the meaning of his actions. He did not need clarification, because every note, every lyric he sang that night had spoken louder than words. In his silence, Taehyung was creating waves. He did not only appear as an idol, but as a silent leader of the free artist movement. Of course, this path is not without its risks. There will be upset parties, anxious investors, maybe even internal pressures that will try to dampen the wave he has created. But what sets Taehyung apart is this. He is not moving for the thrill. He is moving for his personal truth. And that is the kind of courage that no amount of sales or sponsorships can buy. Conclusion: when courage inspires. Taehyung has proven that sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone is the only way to find your true voice. He could have stayed comfortable with the luxury and control of his agency, but he chose a different path, performing without a script, singing without permission, and speaking his heart without censorship. And that's what made the world fall in love with him all over again. Not as an idol, but as a human being who dared to be himself. Not all great strides start from a big stage. Sometimes revolutions start from a small stage and a big heart. Are you ready to see more of the real Taehyung? Because this one is going to be uncontrollable.
Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.